The Rum of the Mist show that you are currently tuned into will begin in about 5 minutes. Until then, enjoy this wonderful tune.
Why does a good man have to die? Another piece of shit to be born. Reasons unheard of tearing my flesh. My heart is ripped, my soul is torn.
You are listening to Star Wars Pod. With your host,
I can prove I'm not a virgin.
I'm so glad I turned on the mics right as you said that. What is up, guys? It's Chris Tolley and Brian Miller together for the second annual inaugural. I don't know how to call
guess.
this.
Yeah, I don't fucking know.
Look, we're doing After Hours again. Welcome to After Hours.
Just come bullshit with us. We don't give a fuck what we're talking about.
That's it. There's no mandatory to this. It's just we're going to bullshit talk for about an hour, give or take.
And at the same time, I am fucking humanity up on plague. I'm not even fucking... Oh, wait. Nope. Nah, never mind. I take it back. Humanity just fucked me up.
Okay.
I can't Apparently, I can't multitask because I'm a man, so...
I'm pulling up Twitch if you want to have YouTube up.
I will pull up the YouTube channel, bud. Give me just uno momento here.
Babe, could you do me a favor?
Ooh, what? Oh, you said babe. What do you need me to do for
the other babe, not you, sir.
The other babe?
The other babe. The one that actually sleeps next to me, you fucking tramp.
Who says I don't sleep next to you?
Hey, you call it stalking. Your mom asked me if I could come up there, but I'm live.
Your mom asked me if I could come up there.
Hey now.
Heyo.
She might have. Heyo.
I like your mom. She's a nice lady.
If you can't guess right now, it's definitely going to be a mature content. In all of our other podcasts, we always sit here and we have topics of conversation, usually dealing with entertainment or particular entertainments like Star Wars, or maybe we get into the political realms or philosophical realms. This, we just sit here and try to make each other laugh, really. And,
you said maybe we get into political realms on the other shows? You never listened to one of our other podcasts?
Well, I know we didn't do it on fucking breaking the fourth wall.
Right.
That was kind of a rule.
Yeah.
Now the rule is...
And then that rule went out the fucking window.
Yeah, and then what's the rule now? Don't get tears all over my carpet on the way out?
Essentially, yeah. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, I'm not
don't
sure.
let the door hit you on the way out.
Don't let the door hit you.
Richard J is on YouTube watch right now. First thing he heard was virgin. Of course. I was talking to Jay just a few minutes ago.
Were you?
On Messenger. He was giving me a little bit of advice, some fatherly advice. So
I don't know if I would trust it coming from him.
No. It was good advice. It was damn
good advice. Okay.
Yeah, it was good advice.
So he pulled out of the good advice pile, not the typical Richard J pile.
No, it was good. It was good.
Nice.
He told me So yeah.
Well, what did he tell you? What
Well, okay, hang on a second. I can pull the message up here. I'll just I'll tell you the bulk of it here. He was giving me some advice for when.
No. Don't tell us about what the advice was for. Just tell us the advice, and we have to guess what it's for.
Oh no, you'll know what it is. It's pretty fucking obvious. It gives itself away.
Erectile dysfunction?
No, it was about whenever Kirsty decides to pop.
Oh.
So he was, in a nutshell, he was saying, make sure Kirsty, or one of the things was make sure Kirsty doesn't do the epidural. That way she'll crash for 6 hours afterwards, and I get some alone time with the kid, get some bonding time. And I told Kirsty about it, and she's like, I ain't turning down shit. She's like, drugs are life.
Come on, you have to. Kirsty, I know you're never going to listen to this podcast, but just listen to me. You have to do the natural chopper. Do the water birth with a wet mother or whatever, wet nurse, whatever it's called.
A wet nurse?
Yeah, a wet nurse.
Oh Jesus!
Do it completely natural, okay? Get some get some herbal, like some ginkgo biloba for the pain.
Hey, she might do that. Actually, she's all for the herbs and the oils and shit.
We'll talk to Gwyneth Paltrow and get you some crystals you can stick up your vagina. Isn't that what she does? I don't know.
No. She doesn't go that far, but
yes, she does.
No. She will. Okay. You get her drunk enough, she does, but
let's clarify.
Oh, you mean Gwyneth Paltrow?
Gwyneth Paltrow goes. I'm not talking about Kirsty. I don't know what Kirsty does. The only thing I know she sticks up her vagina is you.
Well, I can prove it. It's happened at least once.
Wow, I am so sorry, Kirsty. If you actually do listen to this, I am so sorry we went there.
Yep. So. Anyway,
so
what's do what?
That's a good way to start the show. But we can officially talk about this now because I did kind of slip it on Realm of the Mist. I tried to play it off as it was me toying with the fans or whatever, but that our little boy is growing up and he is expecting, ladies and gentlemen. Brian Miller's going to be a dad. How about that?
True story. Yeah. Thank you. About effing time, right?
How's it feeling?
So far it still feels very surreal. I don't think it's really sunk in yet that it's happening. You know, I mean, I talked to my buddy Kyle also, and he's like, it won't really sink into you. You'll go through the whole 9-month pregnancy, and it won't really sink in until they're telling you, hey, put the scrubs on. Here we go. Game on. And it's like, oh shit, this is really happening. So I'm excited though. It's and like part of me is like, man, let's just get through this 9 months and get it the fuck over with because I want him to be here. And then the other part of me is just like, calm down, take a chill pill, and just enjoy the fucking ride. So
here's the dad advice I'm going to give you right now.
Yes, sir. Bring it on. Like I told Jay, man, I will take all the advice I can get from everybody who's been there. So bring it on.
Give or take, we'll say Kirsty's anywhere between 4 and 8 weeks pregnant right now.
Right.
You guys haven't officially been to the doctor.
We're 5 weeks right now.
Okay, you have been officially to the doctor to find out exactly how far along she is. Okay, she's 5 weeks in, which means that's a month in. You got 8 months to go. 7 months and 3 weeks.
Right.
Sleep.
Oh no!
As much as you can.
Now, yeah. Yeah, no, I don't. I've heard that one a lot. And you want to know something interesting? Actually, most of the time, I've told several people that we're expecting now, and out of the several people, I've already had 7 or 8 of them already go twins. Don't you put that on me, Ricky Bobby. But I've already had several people go twins. I'm like, how the fuck would I know at this point? But mainly it's because of the conversation me and Kirsty had on the Canon podcast a while back about if we have twins and they're boy and girl, we're naming them Luke and Leia, whether she wants to or not.
Well, that was going to bring up the question. 2 questions. 1, what are you hoping for? And 2, have you picked out names?
Oh, we've been talking about names for years, dude. We've been trying to have a kid for 6 years. And we've been wanting to for the longest time, which is why I get so pissed off about the abortion shit, right? But
no political.
I know. I'm moving on. I'm moving on. Wiping my hands of it. But no, we're hoping for a girl.
We want one show of no political, ladies and gentlemen.
We're gonna see if we can do this. Yep. We're hoping for a girl. And right now we've got a boy and a girl name picked out just in case. For the boy, we are talking about Everett Clem. And for a girl, we're talking Murphy Ray.
I like Murphy Ray. That's
I
cute.
do too.
That's cute. I don't know about Emery because I'm thinking it's not my kid. It doesn't matter. But I mean, I'm sitting there thinking like Emmett Brown.
Oh yeah.
Or I'm thinking the kid's gonna pop out like Lee Emery in Full Metal Jacket. You bunch of square ass Puss Everett. Excuse me. Yeah, Everett.
Everett. Yeah. Yeah. So, but yeah, no, we're really excited, and you know, the Murphy thing kind of came from Interstellar. You've seen Interstellar. You know, his daughter's name was Murphy, and it's kind of for the same reason. You know, because he said, you know, mommy and daddy couldn't have a kid, and then you came along, and it was Murphy's law. If it could have, you know, whatever can happen will, and we kind of wanted to adopt that kind of that ideology, you know, and that kind of idea. And we both really like the name Murphy for a girl, which I think is cute. You know, some people go, oh, God, no, why the fuck would you name your daughter Murphy? But I like it. I think it's cute.
To me, it's totally 80s. Like,
oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm thinking like Murphy Brown right now, you know? Like,
right?
No, there's nothing wrong with that at all. I mean, shit, I named my kid Jaden, my daughter.
Yeah.
And nobody had the name. I swear to God, nobody had the name when I chose Jaden. And I chose it from Star Wars Jedi Knight 3, Jedi Academy.
Oh, yeah.
Because that was the main character's name, and I liked the name, and I thought it sounded great with the middle name Rose.
Jaden Core.
You know, so I thought it sounded great with the middle name Rose. So my daughter was Jaden Rose.
Right.
And as I swear to God, as soon as I had the daughter, I see all these boys with the name Jaden.
Right off the bat.
Right off the bat, just out of the blue, everybody's naming their boy Jaden. I have yet to see another girl named Jaden, which makes her unique, but at the same time, I feel kind of bad. It's like, did I give you a guy's name?
One of these things is not like the other. But no, we've got a couple of names picked out for both boy and girl, but we decided those are the ones we were going to go with first. We also talked about Micah Ray, kind of named after my dad for a girl. I think for a boy, we had Jason Logan at one point. Like, we've had so many iterations of names. It's insane. You know, so I think right now we've landed on Everett Clem, which, you know, Kirsty's last name's Clemens. Clem after her great-grandfather, Clemens. He went by Clem. So we kind of wanted to pay homage to that. You know what I mean? And the Murphy Ray, obviously, be Kirsty's middle name with that one.
How about Frederick, Jason, and nickname is Chucky?
Chucky.
Just set him off on the right path.
Yeah, because I want a kid running around my house named Chucky. Fuck that. That's no, ain't no goddamn way. You know, there's another girl name that we picked out though that I kind of like. I guess it doesn't really work for a white girl, but I like the name Catalina Isley.
How does that not work for a white girl?
Catalina seems more like a Latino kind of thing, doesn't it? Like, maybe I'm just being
maybe,
racist.
but like the way you presented that, I was half expecting you.
Maybe that's my MAGA hat talking.
It might be, because I was almost thinking like you were about to bust out like you want to name her Shanae or something.
Shanae, Shanini, and Shanunu.
You know, and I'm sitting there like, okay, that might be pushing it a little bit, but
Yeah,
but that
very well might be.
Yeah, that one's not a terrible name.
I like Catalina. I came up with Catalina because, you know, like I think we were talking last night during the Battlefront Let's Play, the Order 69.
Right.
I was talking about Space Cases, the show I used to watch, and there was a girl in there named Catalina, and that was the first time I ever heard the name, and I really liked it. And I said it to Kirsty one time, and she gave me that look like she wanted to throw up in her mouth at first, and then I guess it kind of grew on her, and then she was like, every name we have has something Star Wars in it, some kind of Star Wars reference. So Isley, as in Mos Eisley. So if I ever have a daughter named Catalina Isley, there will never be a more wretched hive of scum and villainy than my daughter.
Well, why not steal from other franchises then? How about River?
Ooh, River's not a bad River song.
River Ivy, Isley. River Isley.
Oh, River, that's not bad, yeah. See, I don't want one of these, like, I don't know how I feel about River, because, like, it's one of those, like, hippie, it sounds to me like one of those hippie, spiritual, you know, like, Nevea, you know what I mean? Like, it's heaven backwards. Fuck you.
Oh my God, it's funny you say that.
I
had a
that
girlfriend
name so much.
I had a girlfriend a while ago that we talked about like kids' names if we ever had children, and she was hell bent if we ever had a boy, it would be named Navek. Kevin backwards.
No, why?
That was my response. It's like, why don't we just call him Kevin?
No, I do. You know what? I do want a kid named Kevin someday, just so whenever he pisses me off, I can just scream Kevin across the house like that Kevin McAllister.
Right.
Just. But then no, my luck, I'll get Joe Pesci trying to break into my fucking house, and I'll find Christmas ornaments broken all over the fucking place.
God damn it, Kevin, you better silent Bob right now, because if I hear one more word.
Dude, did you see that they released the first behind-the-scenes photos of Jay and Silent Bob rebooted?
Yeah, I didn't see the behind-the-scenes photos, but I saw them on location, like test locations.
Yeah, in costume.
Not necessarily in costume.
No,
they were taking all the suits and the powers that be to all the locations they're going to be shooting at.
Oh, nice. The photo I saw was actually them in costume, and
okay.
it was Jason Mewes in the Jay outfit, and and Kevin Smith and Silent Bob, and it brought back so many nostalgic feelings in me. I was just like, holy fuck, here we go again! Like, I'm so ready.
I'm confused. Is this actually a reboot, or are they just calling it a reboot?
I think they're just calling it a reboot. I mean, because he's writing Clerks 3 also. Well, he's been writing Clerks 3 for like 7 years, but
right.
But I think it's just I think they're just calling it rebooted. But I think it has to do with the movie, because what was the movie in the first one? It was what, Blunt Man and Chronic?
The first Jay and Silent Bob?
Yeah.
It was Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
Right, I knew that, but I mean, I don't know. Maybe I like the term legacy sequel.
Well, the reason,
and I think it's been long enough since Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. It's a legacy sequel.
That's possible, but I guess what you're asking, maybe what you're asking, is the storyline of it was, yeah, they were pissed off about the Blunt Man and Chronic movie being made, and they weren't getting their royalty rights.
Right. So I'm wondering if it has to do with that being rebooted.
That's a good possibility.
So I don't know. It's been a long time since I've actually seen Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. Fucking love it though. Grew up on that shit. You know,
dude, he's got a stoner boner.
Stoner boner. Fucking cock knocker.
Ah, not again.
Gotta get cock knocker back.
Oh, you are not upstaging me, Vanderbeek.
Hey, Richard J says Kevin Smith and Jay rap battle on YouTube. Fire. I have yet to watch it.
I've told you to watch that.
I know. I need to. I need to watch it.
But it's kind of funny because, like, Jay, the one that, like, throughout forever has been the vulgar, like, mean one, finishes off the rap battle with saying something nice about Kevin Smith. And Kevin Smith, like, finishes off his end with it with, like, fuck you, dude. You're my, Jay's all like, you're my best friend and I love you. And Kev's just like, fuck you, stoner.
Sounds like Silent Bob. Because, every movie he has that one line of, like, infinite wisdom.
Except Clerks 2.
Except for Clerks 2 when he's like, I got nothing. Yeah, I love it.
Because you do.
Absolutely
you wait for it. Ever since Clerks 1, you
just
you
do.
Wait for him to pop it out.
It's like the Stan Lee cameo in Marvel movies. Like, you're just like, oh, there it is. It's absolutely great.
Oh, man. But, I mean, like, I would love... I mean, he does his own podcast. He's got Hollywood's Babylon. And, of course, he's got Fat Man on Batman with Mark Bernardin. And, and Hollywood Babylon he does with Mark Garman. And everything else. And I would love to get Kevin Smith to sit down and just bullshit for an hour.
There's no way in hell he'd ever give us time of day. I mean, he might.
Why not? He's a Jersey boy, dude. I'm right over the bridge.
Man. That's true.
Yeah.
And it's nothing. And I don't mean that in a way like it's anything against him. But
I mean, we talk comics, we talk Star Wars. These are things he loves.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just it doesn't even have to be like Realm of the Mist podcast or War of the Stars, man. Get him on After Hours and just let him bullshit for an hour.
Jesus Christ, that'd be so fucking fun. And something, and he's just a fan like we are. That's just been blessed enough to be able to be in the public eye and to be able to get to do this stuff. But even with him just being a fan, I would fanboy out over getting to talk to him.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. What I would love about it, though, is because sitting down and bullshitting with him would really be like sitting down and just bullshitting with a guy you knew in high school.
Mm-hmm.
I get that impression. Now, I could be wrong. He could be completely different from everybody we've ever seen in every format of media that we've seen him in, and he could be a total fucking like diva dick, and it would crush me because when I look at Kevin Smith, I see the chubby dude you saw, like I said, in high school, that you just wanted to go and fucking talk about the new Spider-Man movie with.
Right.
You just wanted to talk to him about it, you know?
Yeah. I had that buddy in high school.
Yeah, you know, so
You know?
if it turned out that he was like, you know, I only drink Voss water and I only talk to people who make 6 figures a year, it would crush me, dude.
Yeah. No, you're not wrong. I'd kill to have him on. I really would.
Yeah, it'd be great. It's just like I would love to get Mark Hamill.
Oh.
You know, of course, almost anybody in Star Wars, but I would love to get Mark because I've seen interviews of Mark, and it's literally I could just hit start streaming and shut off my mic and just let him go.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, no, you could. You know, and another one, you know, and not really so much in the realm of like geekdom. I mean, kind of, but not really. Is somebody I'd love to sit down and actually really pick their brain. And because I know they talk a lot when they do, you know, interviews and other podcasts and stuff. But Neil deGrasse Tyson, dude, I'd give my left nut to be able to sit down and talk to him for an hour.
I wouldn't mind. I mean, if we're going to go into the realm of like non-political, I wouldn't mind getting, or not political, non-mainstream entertainer. I wouldn't mind getting some YouTubers that I personally enjoy watching.
Right.
Whether it be a Let's Player like maybe Stephen George or political commentation like Ben Shapiro or Steven Crowder. You
Right.
know, I would love to sit down and talk to them and just really like I wouldn't do so much like the political aspect or whatever. Like I know their political points of view. I watch their shows.
Right.
I would more ask them things of like, dude, does it get to you how much hate you get? Or whatever. I would love to have like those types of deep conversations with those type of people.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or whatever. But I mean, you and I we've interviewed a couple people throughout our times, authors,
Right.
and of course Mike Quinn. You know,
Yes.
not to name drop, but I mean, you know, we've interviewed some people, and it was awesome. But I would love to just spend some time letting them be them.
Right.
Not so much like, hey, let's talk about your career.
Right.
Or what you're working on now. It's like, hey, be one of the guys for an hour.
Well, see, that's why I'd love to get somebody like Neil deGrasse Tyson because, you know, personally, like I'm really, I don't know a goddamn thing when it comes to astrophysics compared to somebody like him. But I love sitting and listening to shit like that, you know? And you know, everybody knows how the speed of light works and blah, 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 and blah, whatever. But to have him sit and talk, like the way he speaks about astrophysics, it actually makes it fucking fun to sit and listen to. You know, even if you don't understand some of the words he's saying, it's still fun to listen to. And I could just sit and listen to him talk for hours, you know, and just blow my mind over and over and over and over, you know, and not even stop talking, just keep going. God, I'd love to have a conversation like that.
Are you having
A very
orgasm
one-sided
right
conversation. What? No, why?
It sounds like you are over and over and over. Just keep going. Right there, baby.
Mine don't last that long. What are you talking about?
Come on, quantum physics. Talk string theory. Talk string theory to me.
Oh my God. No, it wouldn't. No, you say string theory and it's over.
No, stop that. No dark matter. No dark matter.
You're not far from the truth, though, bud. To be honest,
What's,
you know, like
what's
I
the
had my
safe
buddy,
word? Oklahoma.
I had my
Or
buddy.
no, if it's Neil deGrasse Tyson, I guess the safe word would be Stephen Hawking. Stephen Hawking.
Stephen Hawking. You know, I had my buddy
He would have
over.
been fun to have.
Oh yeah, I had my buddy over last weekend. Buddy I hadn't seen in a while, and he and I like to talk astrophysics sometimes, and he likes to ask, like, you know, my opinion on some different things and whatnot. But it was right before they were getting ready to leave, and we started talking about some shit like this, and it's just fun to talk about that once in a while, you know. And it's just out of nowhere, you just start talking astrophysics, and you know, just anything randomly. And it's just a blast sometimes, you know. Even at the most, you know, unopportune moments, it's just anytime whatsoever, you know. Like I was talking to his girlfriend Jess. You know, we were trying to, I guess, blow each other's minds talking about stuff. And I was like, well, here's one for you. You know, the speed of light is only so fast. You know, a galaxy, let's say you're outside the Milky Way galaxy and you're looking at the galaxy as it is, right? Way off in the distance, you're looking at the whole thing. You can't see what the entire galaxy looks like at any given moment. because the galaxy is 300,000 light years across. So the light from the far side is 300,000 years older than what you see closer to you. So the closer you're looking at the galaxy to you, the younger it is.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, and even she was like, "Oh shit, no, you're right." Like, but it's fun to think about shit like that, and to think about how finite we are and how we really don't fucking matter in this universe.
What if CAT really spelt dog?
Dog.
Sorry.
Well, there's a theory now, and I kind of want to hear.
That was all. I'm listening to you, and it's intelligent. But all that was running through my head with this being kind of more of a comedy show was freaking Revenge of the Nerds 2 when they're all stoned on the island.
Oh my God, yeah. Jesus.
Sorry, go ahead, continue.
Well, no, okay. So there's a theory out now, and it's kind of along these lines a little bit, and I kind of want to see what your opinion is on this. There's a theory now. Let me see if I can find it real quick, because I saw this on Facebook the other day and kind of blew my mind. I'm not sure how this is going to work. But let me Google it real quick. Mirror Universe, Big Bang. Okay. So there's a new theory that when the Big Bang happened, the moment, the exact moment that it happened,
right,
our universe came out of one side of it. Boom. There's everything that we fucking know and see. But then that a mirror universe kind of extended from the other side of it where time is running backwards. And now, obviously, you and I can't comprehend what that would mean for time to run backwards.
Right.
But if you were in the universe, right. But if you were in the universe where time was running backwards, would you be able to comprehend time running forwards?
Well, if we're talking about like going backwards, and now you're going to drag me into it. See, I knew we shouldn't have had that pot before the show. You're going to drag me into this.
Love that brownie.
So if time's running backwards, is it like a Benjamin Button scenario where we're getting younger?
Would you even realize it though? Because
forget the realization.
I'm
trying to figure out right now. What I'm trying to figure out right now is like you're dead, and then the end of your life cycle is you're born.
Not necessarily.
Or conceived, I guess it would be.
Just because time runs differently wouldn't mean you would age or de-age. You know what I mean? Like, it would just be time around you running differently. Kind of like, you've got a black hole. You get so close to it, that's the event horizon. Once you cross that, there's no escape. You're going in, right?
Right.
Once you go in, time itself distorts to a point where it kind of flips over on itself. So it kind of runs backwards. So that every single string of your future goes to that point, no matter what. Every single line of your future goes to the center of that black hole. And your past. Like, your past is in that black hole. Like, so once time flip-flops, can you even register that?
Well, see, no, that's what I'm having a problem with. If we're talking about like this mirror universe where everything is kind of reversed, are we talking about like instead of the clock spinning clockwise, it spins counterclockwise? Are we talking about the sun rises in the west and sets in the east? Are we talking about you're born old and you die young? Like, what are we talking about in reverse of time? Regardless of whether we can even perceive it. Like, are we talking about, like, when you look in a mirror and you raise your left hand, your mirror reflection's raising its right?
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. Here, let me read this to you real quick, talking about it a little bit. It says...
Dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria.
That's a good. Let's see here. So I'm trying to find. This is the whole article. So it says, and they actually do an Avengers reference in the article too. I didn't know that was going to happen. It says, just like Thanos and Avengers, our physical laws are obsessed with balance and symmetry, but the universe doesn't really ascribe to that. Physics tell us that matter and antimatter are equal and should have existed in equal form after the Big Bang, but in reality, we have a universe made almost exclusively of matter. We have no solution for this glaring discrepancy. It is a limit of our current theories. Many solutions have been proposed to explain it, but they are all yet to be confirmed. Now, a recent and rather outlandish new theory suggests that our universe has a mirror antimatter companion expanding backwards in time from the Big Bang. This hypothesis is presented in the journal Physical Review Letters. It says, before we get into the details of this mirror universe, it's important to understand where the idea comes from. Since the 1950s, scientists have discovered that certain phenomena have the ability to violate some long-established symmetries of the universe. One is called parity, which is P in parentheses, which is the idea that if you flip all your spatial coordinates, up becomes down, in becomes out, left becomes right, physics will still behave in the same way. Another one is called charge, which posits switching matter for antimatter should result in the same physics. But that's not always the case. At first, many of these violations were solved by using the combined CP symmetry, but then researchers found violations in this too, so they added T to the equation, which is time. The principle goes that something may be able to break one or two of the symmetries of physics, but nothing should be able to break the combined CPT symmetry. This new study uses this approach for the entire universe. They argue that the universe doesn't violate CPT, as our matter-dominated universe, expanding in a certain direction in time from the Big Bang, is the mirror image of an antimatter-dominated universe that existed before the Big Bang. Well, this theory has some interesting advantages. It doesn't require us to build new physics to explain several complicated events in the evolution of the universe, such as the cosmic inflation, the extremely rapid expansion of the universe, and the fraction of seconds after the Big Bang. It also comes up with a possible candidate for dark matter, as this setup would produce an excess of massive hypothetical particles known as sterile neutrinos.
Well, if I'm understanding this in any way, shape, or form correctly, and I'm going to dumb it down for my own brain here, essentially they're almost describing like an afterlife in the mirror universe, if you will, since everything here is dominated by matter, and we're talking about a mirror flip of antimatter,
right?
Which I guess would be the balance from the Big Bang, which means our carbon beings here would be ethereal there.
Right.
If I'm understanding it correctly, and I'm no physicist by any means. I'm not smart enough to be. I can't even spell physicist. But if I'm understanding this correctly, essentially everything that we find to have mass and function and made out of like carbon atoms or whatever the case may be would be more wispy and spiritual and
antimatter, right?
For lack of a better term, ghost-like there.
Right. But it also says that it existed since time was running backwards. It existed before the Big Bang, which makes one wonder: did the universe start big and then shrink down to the Big Bang and then boom, explode again? Or is this, like a constant cycle? Like, what's going on? Like, it's interesting. I didn't know. Honestly, I didn't plan on talking astrophysics tonight, but fuck it. Let's do this shit.
Well, no, you have me sitting here thinking about it now, and it's like now I kind of want to delve in and kind of research a little bit.
I do too.
Because, I feel like a complete moron about it, but it isn't. I've always subscribed to the idea that it's, as much as I don't think this is the only planet, in the known universe to have life.
Right.
There's plenty of other life-sustaining planets. And as soon as we have the technology available to be able to see it, we're going to find out we're not alone in the universe. I full-heartedly believe in that.
Yeah.
I don't know if I necessarily believe in these rednecks getting abducted and having probes stuck up their ass. But, I do subscribe in the fact that there is other life forms, and more specifically, intelligent life forms out there. We're not alone in the universe. So, with that being said, I just as much believe that there are split-offs in the timeline, if you will, a prime and a Kelvin, or whatever the case may be, that exists.
You went there.
Or if you want to use Earth 2, Earth 3, Earth 4, or the multiverse, for any geeky terminology you want to use, where there is different us's in different not times, but I guess timelines.
Right.
Where in another timeline, I'm fucking Donald Trump. And in another timeline, I was Charles fucking Manson. But just that there's multiple universes out there. Whether it's anti-universe as this would be, or mirror universe, or one that just runs parallel universes. That's the word I'm looking for. I've always subscribed to that. So, I mean, this is interesting to me.
Okay, well, here's something then that kind of goes along with that. I'm going to build on what you just said.
All right.
There's two theories, right? And one of these has to be true. It's either one way or the other. There's no in between. There's either Okay, so let's start with this one. Let's say one of them. The universe is finite, which means it has a boundary, right?
Okay.
Let's say it started as one point and it's just boom, there it is. If the universe is not infinite, then it has to end somewhere. And if it ends somewhere, what is beyond that? Is it another universe? Is it the multiverse? Is it something bigger? Are we living inside of the cell of an organism that we don't know about, where physics are different to us? You know what I mean? Like, are our cells our little mini universes, where you've got organisms and galaxies and stuff? It makes you wonder. Because when you look at the massive picture of the galaxy and you kind of the way the universe and how the galaxies kind of flow together, it almost looks like neurons in the brain. The way they work. But the other theory is the really interesting one. If the galaxy is truly infinite, and it just goes on forever and ever and ever, matter can only arrange itself in so many forms, in so many different forms. So at some point, it might be infinite distance away, but at some point, it's going to start copying itself. So there's another Milky Way galaxy identical to ours. There's another Earth just like ours. There's another you that's sitting at a podcast microphone right now doing the same goddamn thing we're doing right now. You know what I mean? At some point, it's going to copy itself.
Well,
and
I'll tell you
what if they're having the same conversation about out there somewhere, there's two jackasses sitting at a microphone, and they're talking about us?
Probably are. But in neither of these types of theoretical realities that Brian is talking about, I just want to let you guys know that in neither of them is the Earth flat.
Actually, if Earth can only form itself in so many ways, out there somewhere there is a flat Earth.
But something that was running through my brain while you were talking about that during the first part, when you said if the universe is finite, where it has an end, and what is that end, and what's beyond the end? What if the end of the universe, the border, the barrier, the wall that you would consider it to be, whatever that may be, isn't necessarily like the universe literally stops, but the laws of physics itself stops there? And
that's entirely possible too.
That's actually what I was sitting there thinking about. The flat Earth thing, I just had to throw it out there because you people are stupid. The what if the boundary of the universe, the finite of the universe as we know it, is actually the finite of our understanding of physics.
Right.
And once you cross that boundary, that wall, that whatever, then you go into a whole new realm of theological existence.
Right.
Where it has its own rules of physics, its own rules of relativity, and everything else that has bound our lives together forever. Well, whether it's like you said before with the mirror universe where up is down, black is white, whatever, or if it's just something completely not from our understanding, we're like, we're for an example, we're restricted to the rules of gravity. We we sink to the ground. We start shrinking, blah, 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 blah. What if in the alternate reality, nobody ever touches the ground? Birds touch the ground.
There is no ground. There's no birds. Right. I mean, because think about it. Think of how big that is for a second, right? That is, because as far out as we can see is 13 point some odd billion light years. That's as far out as we can see, because at that point, you're seeing light from the Big Bang, the afterglow, and it's so far away that the light is no longer light, it's turned into radiation.
Right.
So we can only pick up the radiation. So we physically cannot see beyond that point because the light is not here yet. And think about how wide that is. All right. So once you get that big, let's say our universe, let's just for shits and giggles, for argument's sake, say that our universe is the cell of an organism. Right. We've got cells that make up our body, skin cells,
somebody's been watching fucking Men in Black again, but yeah, okay.
Right.
Because when you were first talking about the cells and everything else, or we find out
you started thinking about Orion's belt, didn't you?
No, I started thinking about the end of the first movie where you were
right with Orion's belt.
Yeah, but it was a marble. And
right.
It was an alien playing marbles and picking up all the galaxies and putting them in a bag.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm getting at. Think of how massively huge these organisms would have to be. If our cells are microscopic, we can't even see them with our naked eye. And our universe technically would be microscopic to whatever's eye that would be. 13 point whatever billion light years across. Think of how huge that would be, right? You can't even comprehend that. And the laws of physics would be entirely different. Light, the speed of light is constant. There's no changing the speed of light for us. But then it makes you wonder, in your cells, and your skin cells and what makes you up, what if those cells have little tiny universes in them with galaxies that we can't see, with planets that we can't see, with organisms that are living out their meaningless little fucking lives and have no clue what they are?
What if our galaxy's just a little red dot on a big alien penis?
Right. We could be the tip of the fucking penis at this point. We could be a herpy. We could be a galactic herpy. It's entirely possible. People are probably tuning in right now like, these guys are fucking high.
The sad part is we're not. Could you
We're
imagine
not.
if we were, though?
This is just us. I don't want to see what I would look like high.
I don't think I'd want to hear the podcast if we were high.
I would want to hear the podcast if I was high. I'm interested.
Scared of the podcast if I was high.
I'd be interested. I've never, that's one thing I've never done. I've never done any kind of illegal drug before.
That's not true.
True story.
No, come on. You've done something that you haven't supposed to do.
Never have.
I mean, even if it's something that's legal now but wasn't legal when you did it.
I've been in the same room as people who smoked weed, who smoked pot.
No. I'm not talking about like pot or coke or. You've got to have drank before you were 21.
Okay, now that's
smoked
different.
a cigarette before you were 18.
Yeah, okay, you got me there. That happened.
Yeah, you've done illegal things. Just it's legal to you now.
Right.
Yeah, that wasn't necessarily meaning it had to be drugs.
Right. I did smoke cigarettes when I was 18.
Yeah.
But as far as illegal drugs go that make you high, to physically, I guess alcohol does make you high. But you know what I mean. You get where I'm getting at. I've never shot up. I've never smoked something I wasn't supposed to fucking smoke. And I tell people that, and they're like, "You're from Northwest Ohio and you've never done pot?" I'm like, "No, never have."
Well, I could shatter your world in its own right too. Have you ever abused a substance and used it in a way that it was not intended?
Ooh, I don't think so.
Have you ever taken NyQuil not because you had a cold, but just because you wanted to go to sleep?
Yeah, I have done that.
Yeah.
I have done that. Yeah. When I was in the military, when I deployed to Iraq, that was a 27-hour flight. I downed a bottle of NyQuil and said, "Fuck it." I didn't want to be awake for it. So
I knew the answer was yes.
You got me there.
Yep.
You got me there.
Well, hopefully, guys, we're not making you grab the bottle of NyQuil. We're going to take a quick break for a commercial for our buddies over at Comic Collections in Feasterville, PA. And when we come back, we'll get this conversation to keep going.
Sweet.
Right here on Realm of the Mist presents After Hours.
Hi, this is Dave from the Comic Collection at 83 Bustleton Pike in Feasterville, Pennsylvania. Our phone number is 215-357-3332. We are right next to Northeast Philadelphia. We have action figures, gaming, statues, albums, and CDs, graphic novels, other knickknacks, and, of course, comics. Established in 1985, we are your go-to store. Come by and say hello. And say that the guys from Radiocast FM Radio sent you. The address again is 83 Bustleton Pike, Feasterville, Pennsylvania, or call 215-357-3332.
What's not wrong with us?
So, yes, welcome back to After Hours. It is Chris and Brian, and we're sitting here talking about how to cure space herpes off a giant alien penis.
When we are the space herpes.
When we are the space herpes.
Do you really want to heal the space herpes if we're the space herpes?
Well, no, we promise no political.
Oh, my God.
I was about to make a political joke and realized, wait, nope, wrong show.
Back it up.
We just want one show where we're not talking politics. Just one.
Yeah.
Hell, even the next episode of After Hours may have politics on it, but just this one.
Yeah, we need to get one. We need to at least prove to ourselves that it's possible. Because at this point, I don't think it is.
Well, it used to be. Like I said, we used to have a rule.
Can we talk about not being able to get political without getting political?
We're about to find out, I think. Because when we
learn today.
Yeah, when we first started the channel, And we had a whole bunch of shows, and we had a whole bunch of people from a whole bunch of different backgrounds with a whole bunch of different point of views. Rule number one was that we would not get political on the shows because we didn't want to offend anybody who was
Right.
not the people that were listening to us. We didn't, no disrespect, we didn't care. If you guys got offended by what we said, you would probably blast us in the comments, and we would take it. But we didn't want to offend our own friendships within the company because of different political points of view. But then when we rebooted Realm of the Mist, kind of the rule went out the window.
Yeah.
And it really made it wonder, like, is it because of the fact that the climate in today's world is it's almost impossible to have a conversation without some sort of political undertone, particularly in entertainment?
No, it's getting harder and harder. Well, I mean, look at us right now. We're like tiptoeing around the edge, trying not to fucking dive in head first. You know what I mean? Like, so it's we probably need to change the subject.
So it really does beg the question: can it happen? That's kind of what we're doing tonight. Besides joking around and getting a little too heavy on the NyQuil.
Yeah.
We're trying to see if it's possible to go back to the days where we could sit, talk, joke, be a little non-PC, if you will, but not offensive, and just enjoy life without needing to resort back to what all the news stations and everybody else is saying about everything that really doesn't matter in the long run of life. So here we are. Is it possible? We're going to answer that question. When this video ends, we'll either know, yes, it is possible, or
no, it's not.
No.
All right, well, I'm going to fight tooth and nail to make sure we don't get to that point. Let me ask you something, Chris.
Sure, go ahead.
Who do you think is going to bite it in Avengers 4?
Tony Stark.
You think?
I it's not because I want Iron Man to go. I think Robert Downey's done.
Yeah.
I think Robert Downey wants it to be done. And
I don't doubt that.
And because I think he wants it done, I don't want Tony to die. I mean, you and I have had this conversation before. I think it would be great if Stark stuck around and played the mentor role to Peter in the Spider-Man movies. And stuff of that nature, because I really like the dynamic that Tom Holland and Robert Downey have built with the characters. But I think if one person's gonna bite it, it's going to be Tony.
I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that at all. I don't think Cap's making it out either.
True.
To be honest, I really don't. I don't think Thanos is making it out.
That's a given.
Thor will probably survive. I'm gonna go. I don't know, man, because Hulk's obviously Hulk's got to survive. I think they got plans for Hulk. I'm almost willing to bet that we're gonna get Professor Hulk in 4.
You know what? I'm kind of curious. We could lay into this then.
Yeah.
Since we're talking about it, let's play a little speculation of Avengers, since that's 2 months away.
Yeah.
My God, it's 2 months away.
Yeah.
We were talking. You were talking on Facebook to somebody, and you had posted up one of those things about, like, Infinity War and
Oh, my theory.
Your theory. And
Hang
somebody
on,
was
let me pull it
somebody
up
was
real
talking
quick.
about the Doctor Strange thing, and I didn't read the whole thing. I didn't get a chance to, and I wanted to, because that was a theory I subscribed to. It's the whole reason that Strange gave up the time stone and everything else is because he was setting in motion the only outcome where they won.
Right.
And
Well, see here.
I subscribed to that, and I never got to see what the conversation curtailed after.
Essentially, my theory was, and it kind of went back to what to the Doctor Strange thing. Essentially, my theory was this: in Infinity War, spoiler for those of you who've not seen Infinity War, if you haven't seen it at this point, then you're probably not gonna.
You have no interest, yeah.
Yeah, at this point, okay. So at the beginning of Infinity War, we see Thanos. He's already got the Power Stone, which we know was on Xandar, with the Nova Corps.
Right.
We know that from Guardians of the Galaxy. Hell, we know that from Infinity War. Thor said that it was decimated and Thor stole the stone. But we didn't see him decimate Xandar. And that was kind of one of the surprises going into Infinity War for the first time. I was kind of surprised that he already had one of the stones, right?
Right.
and which was kind of a cool way to start it. I kind of figured they would go back, and I'm hoping that they go back and tell this story. We know that time travel's most likely, not confirmed, but I think we're pretty much on the same page that time travel is going to be an issue with Avengers 4. I propose this theory. What if, at some point in an Endgame, they decide they're going to try to get the stones before Thanos does, or, you know what I mean? Something along those lines to stop him from the beginning. And Thor tells him, why, I know that that Thanos tried to get this stone on Xandar at this time, and they go, let's go get it. So, what if Cap, Iron Man, Hawkeye, Widow, Professor Hulk, what if all of them end up on Xandar trying to stop Thanos from getting that stone, and in the process decimate the town, the city, in the process of trying to stop him. And then, Thanos takes off to go after the Space Stone because he knows where it's at, and the Avengers lose, obviously, because Thanos gets the Power Stone. What if that had already happened before Infinity War started? He'd already faced the Avengers. That would explain why, when Iron Man and them are fighting Thanos on Titan, how when he calls him Stark and Tony's like, you know me? And he's like, I do. You're not the only one cursed with knowledge. Because if they come back in time at that point, then it's going to, it shows Thanos, hey, apparently something happened that made them desperate enough to time travel back to where I'm at now to keep me from doing this.
Well, I mean, that's fair enough. I also had the question. It's probably a stupid theory,
no theory at this point is stupid.
Well, no, it probably.
But we can break them down and kind of compare what we know so far to them and see kind of what we get.
Well, comparing Thanos to the comic book Thanos, the comic book Thanos was not as sympathetic as he was in the movie.
No, not at all.
He's
a fucking bastard in the comic.
Yeah, he was a bastard in the comic, but he actually has a heart. He's very sympathetic. He actually has justifiable reasons for doing what he wants to do. He's not just being an all-powerful prick.
Right.
Now, it seriously harmed him to, spoiler, kill Gamora. to obtain the what was that, the Soul Stone?
The Soul Stone. The Soul Stone. Soul for a soul, yeah.
So what if the whole time travel thing that happens, since he contains the Time Stone, is him because he can't live with the fact, even in his victory, he can't live with the fact that he's the one that killed Gamora? What if he goes back to figure out a different way to keep her alive, and that pretty much sets everything else back in motion from that point?
But then it null and voids and retcons what he said about how he was the only one that was willing to make the hard choices to make this happen.
Which is why it would make him even more sympathetic.
That, right, but then if it gets to the point where he's like, no, I can't do this, then that null and voids everything he said. I mean, obviously that was a very high price to pay for the Soul Stone. And that's why, that was a very, very high price. But I think if he undoes it, it's going to take away from it Infinity War. I don't think Gamora's coming back. I think Gamora's done. I think everybody that died before I think they're gone. Loki's obviously, he's toast. Gamora is definitely dead. Who else died? Vision.
Heimdall.
I think Vision's going to come back. I don't think it's going to be the same way. Yeah. Because remember what they said in Infinity War. They said, Vision's mind is made up of the Stone, Tony, Bruce, Ultron, Jarvis. If they took the stone out, there might still be enough. I think that's the case. I think there's going to be enough Vision there left to make him Vision still.
Right. But he may not be as powerful as he was.
Right. But, as far as anybody who died before that, I think they're toast. I think they're done. I think they're gone.
All right, fair enough. Like I said, it was just something I thought of while we were talking. Like, what if he was the one that went back and figured out a way of sacrificing himself? Which kind of you can argue the paradox all day, the Doc Brown paradox all day, but instead of pushing Gamora, he pushes the other Thanos to get the Soul Stone. So everything else is still in motion. But then this time,
he'd be cursed with knowledge.
He would be cursed with knowledge.
Yeah.
And then at the end, when he loses, because he'll lose this time.
Yeah.
But when he's sitting there, he could have Gamora over him, whatever. And he could explain to her, I just couldn't let you go. I was too weak.
Well, technically, she's still in the Soul Stone.
I know she is, but
in a different. existence.
But where he basically explains that even I couldn't. The reason I failed is even I could not give up that which I love most. Because argue all you want, he murdered her for his means, but he loved her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's why it's like I can almost see a catalyst like that with Thanos, or even if he doesn't succeed in going back and stopping him from killing him, Gamora, I still see the whole entire time travel thing being his fault.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because he's just like, something's not right, or something, I can't live with the way this went, or just something of that. I mean, he's the only one that has the ability to time travel at the moment anyway.
True.
So it almost has to be him that does it, or at least starts it.
Well, how do you go back and look? How do you search your Facebook profile? Because there's another theory I did for Infinity War before it came out that I wanted to go back and look at, because I actually didn't go back and look at it to see how right it was. I don't remember how to search your own profile.
Besides just fucking going on your profile, like
but it's gonna be like a year ago though.
That's the only way I know of, is scrolling down and scrolling down.
Well, here we go.
But that again, I told you, it's a stupid theory. It's just something I was thinking of while you were speaking. But I mean, Well,
I don't think it's a stupid theory. I don't think there's such thing as a stupid theory at this point. Fuck. There's part of me that thinks the people that got snapped aren't coming back. Not in the way we think they're going to. I have another theory, too. I have another theory. What if the people that were left behind weren't the ones that Thanos was saving? It was the ones he snapped. That was the half he was saving, and the other half were left to die.
Oh, so kind of like a reverse psychology.
Right.
Like
so like everybody in like a paradise reality somewhere.
Everybody who poofed actually wound up in an alternate reality in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
Right.
A paradise. Okay. You know what I mean? It's just a thought. Like I said, it's just a little stupid theory I've got, but
that'd be interesting.
God damn it. This is going to take forever to go back.
I don't know if it'd be true, but it'd be interesting.
Yeah. There's got to be. I thought there was a way you could search your...
I hate to say it this way, but I think my theory would actually be more feasible than that one.
No, you're not wrong. That's a very, very real possibility. And like I said, I was just spitballing and kind of thinking, because at this point, anything could fucking happen. Literally anything could fucking happen at this point.
Hey, Agrodad Gaming is joining us, and he says, I really need to catch up on these fucking movies.
What's up, brother?
You missed the fun on the first half where we were talking about astrophysics.
And being a virgin.
Yeah. And herpes on an alien dick.
Yeah, space herpes. I forgot about that. That was a good one, too. That was one of those you're like, did this conversation really happen?
We promise no drugs and alcohol were involved.
Yet.
You
can't. You say it the way it is.
Oh, he said, I heard.
Oh, here we go. So I found the post I was talking about.
I was cleaning up and couldn't type.
All right, so I found my theory. This is from March 26th of last year. This is before Infinity War came out.
He says, but he was yelling at you. Go ahead.
He was yelling at me?
Yeah, what were you yelling at Brian for?
Yeah, I'm curious now.
Well, read your theory while he's typing it out. I'll read it to you after he's got it out.
So here's my theory. Remember, this is before Infinity War came out, and I haven't read this since then, so I don't remember exactly how this went. So I said, this is mainly for everyone who's ready to see Avengers Infinity War. If that's not you, you probably won't want to waste your time with this post. So I'm betting it's going to go like this. This one is called Infinity War. Everyone is assuming that means it's a war with the Infinity Stones. I propose it's a war for the Infinity Stones. The Soul Stone, which I was way off base on this one. The Soul Stone is going to be in Wakanda. The whole battle there would be the armies of Thanos making a play for it. Doctor Strange taking glass to the face is going to be him having the Time Stone stolen from him. We see Thanos with the Tesseract breaking it and getting the Space Stone inside. Betting Loki dies there too, but I digress. We know Vision has the Mind Stone, betting you can say goodbye to him. We know the Collector has the Reality Stone, and we know the Power Stone is with the Nova Corps. Thanos has the Power and Space Stones in the gauntlet so far that we see. I believe the Reality Stone has been removed from the trailer to keep from spoiling anything in the trailers. Boy, I was right about that too. The portal he walks through in the first trailer is definitely created using the Space Stone. So all of that to say this. Thanos will go for the Power Stone on Xandar first. I was wrong on this one too. Reality Stone the Collector's second. He'll kill Loki to get the Space Stone from him third. He'll use the Space Stone to travel to Earth for the Mind Stone yellow, Time Stone green, and Soul Stone orange. This film will all be built up. I believe the next Avengers film will be them stopping Thanos from using the gauntlet to wipe out the universe. I was wrong about some of this.
You were absolutely wrong.
But some of it I was right, too. Also, Cap is definitely... I was wrong in this one, too. Also, Cap is definitely going to die in this one. We've seen set photos from Avengers 4 that show Tony going back in time to the battle of the first Avengers film. In those photos, we see Cap in his old outfit, betting Tony seeing Cap again after the way everything had transpired will be a significant emotional event for Tony, causing him to finally leave behind Iron Man and the Avengers, making way for the next generation of MCU films. And that was it.
You're not too wrong on that aspect.
I wasn't
you were wrong that Infinity War was going to end the way that it was going to end.
Yeah.
Because you really thought that the end of it would be in 4 of them stopping him from being able to wipe out half of existence.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Infinity War, he wiped out half of existence.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So you were absolutely wrong on that. Of course, you were wrong about the Nova Corps, and the first stone we get to see him physically take was getting the Tesseract, which you were right on that.
But I was right about him
kill
getting the
Loki.
Power Stone first. I was right about him getting the Power Stone first.
You were right about it, but we didn't see it.
Right. I was right about Loki dying.
You were right about Loki dying and him getting the Tesseract from killing Loki, which is exactly what he did. So you were right on that. You were wrong on the Soul Stone being the last one, surprisingly.
Yeah. I really thought Heimdall was going to have the Soul Stone at one point. Because of the way he can see everybody in all 9 realms. I really thought he was going to have it.
That's really interesting to jump back and take a look at your theory. Can you even remember what you were basing your theories on?
No. Well, the first trailer had just come out. I was just going based off the first trailer. And, I was trying to put together the way I would write it. But there was another theory, too. Oh, my second theory was how, whether or not we decide to go see Captain Marvel, I have this theory that, was it Winter Soldier? It was Winter Soldier when Nick Fury lifts his eye patch up and he says, the last time I trusted somebody, I lost an eye. I'm betting Goose the Cat takes his fucking eye.
Probably.
Yeah,
that one I agree with you on.
Yeah. And then...
by the way, Agrodad says, I don't remember. I was arguing your point.
Arguing my point?
So it was one of our points during the astrophysics things, and he was...
Yeah, the astrophysics thing, that'll open up a fucking, no pun intended, wormhole of fucking different of different ideas and theories and whatnot. You know what I mean? And
right.
Everybody has different ideas on how things work, which is completely cool. I'll have every conversation with you guys about that shit all goddamn day.
Well, he says, fuck Captain Marvel, man-hating twat.
Damn, right for the jugular, 0 to 60.
I'm telling you, man. Don't hold back. Tell us how you really feel.
Yeah, I want to know.
Pretend I'm Dr. Phil, and he's Oprah.
Dr. Phil he lets loose sometimes.
I know.
He tells you the way it fucking is.
That's why you're Oprah.
I'm Oprah?
You're Oprah. You get syphilis, and you get syphilis, and you get syphilis. Sorry.
I thought it was herpes. We were talking about.
No, we moved on, man.
We're past that. You don't just one does not simply move on from herpes, Chris.
You move on from herpes, but sooner or later it flares back up.
Jesus Christ.
Oh man, it's gone there.
People are seriously gonna listen to us and think we're high. And we might be. Fuck, I don't know what they're putting in the air anymore. I don't know what's in chemtrails.
Here we go.
I'm trying. I'm trying so goddamn hard.
We're right back on that edge.
Jesus Christ. But I am trying.
Oh, my God.
I'm trying. I really am. I had another theory, too. I don't remember what it was. I got to find it. I'm still looking for it. I'm trying to find it on my Facebook page. There's the video of Kirsty singing when nobody knew.
Was that really a year ago already?
No. I'm already that more recent.
Oh, okay.
I can't find it. But anyway, no. We could talk forever about Avengers 4 theories. Like my buddy that was visiting over the weekend, we sat down to watch Infinity War for the first time. He hadn't watched it yet. And we got about halfway through it and they had to leave. But then he told me that they finished watching it afterwards, and then he watched Ant-Man and the Wasp. And I told him, dude, Ant-Man and the Wasp is like kind of like mediocre, okay, but that end credit scene is gonna be what fucking kills you.
Right.
And I was talking to his girlfriend, and she said he come running into the room and was like, "Did you know? Did Brian know? Oh my god, I just finished Ant-Man and the fucking Wasp!" Like losing his mind, right? So, yeah, no, it's we could talk all day about this shit, you know. And I have a theory about Captain Marvel also. They've already said, and I'm basing this off of just rumor. One of the rumors was that the final and the end credit scene is going to tie in with Avengers and Endgame. But the mid-credit scene was going to be an emotional punch in the gut. So I'm wondering if Goose the cat doesn't get snapped.
Oh.
I'm wondering. So, like, because they're focusing on this cat so goddamn much during the marketing that I'm almost wondering, what person wouldn't get gut punched watching a cat turn to ash? Because they said it wasn't just 50% of the people.
So basically, you're thinking like an after credit. She saves the day, everything's cool and kosher. She comes home to Goose, and
just
she
in time to see him.
Just randomly sees him, you know, dust.
Yeah.
And then she gets
and then the end credit
from,
scene is when the beeper starts going off. Yeah.
Right, when she gets the text from Fury.
Right.
Ooh.
I know, right? Because that's
almost
something
enough to make me go watch Captain Marvel.
Right, just to watch the cat dust. Because that's just my theory. I don't know if that's true or not. That's just my headcanon, right? Like she saves, like you said, she saves the day, you know, whatnot, and then you know, she's like Goose is sitting on the counter or whatever, and she walks and she's like, "Oh, Goose," and she reaches up to pet him just in time to see him.
Right, she's just confused,
you know, and
distraught.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden the beeper starts going off, and she looks down at it, and it's Fury calling her.
Right. Which, of course, you know, Fury dusted as he was sending that.
Right. Mother. So I like to use the word smoked. I like to say they smoked.
That's interesting.
Technically they ashed, but
yeah, that is. Have you ever seen the Facebook meme of like a Spider-Man figure that they opened up the figure and it's nothing but dust in it?
Oh, too soon. I did see one where what was it? It was Tony. It was a cartoon somebody drew of Tony Stark, and you could tell that Spider-Man had just dusted, and Deadpool's there with a vacuum cleaner going, "Don't worry, Tony, I got him. We'll take him with us." And he's vacuuming up the ashes. I saw that one. That one was good.
Dude, have you seen that? Like we've never talked about this. We could talk about this. Brian and I had started a petition of having Stan Lee, the late Stan Lee, who did cameos in every Marvel movie.
Mm-hmm.
Who unfortunately is no longer with us. He filmed a couple of the cameos that are going to show up in the next couple of movies, but that will be the end of the Stan Lee cameos because unfortunately he's no longer with us. Mm-hmm. And Brian and I feel that he should be honored by having now part of the MCU family since Disney bought Fox. We feel that Deadpool should be the one making the cameos from here on out.
He's the character that makes the most sense.
He's the character that makes the most sense. And we had put a petition out of people, you know, to get their you know, signatures to send to Disney. We want to send this to Marvel and say, right, you know, hey, I think the best way to honor Stan is to have Deadpool do this since he's the only character that could.
We are not the only people that have started a petition on this.
We are not. It has really gained traction.
There are dozens of them.
Oh my God! It has really gained traction. Great minds think alike. I'm not trying to say that that Brian and I started this,
right? No,
but it has really gained traction.
It has,
which makes me kind of proud, actually. We may not have started, but in my own headcanon, that was us. That was our idea. We started that. Mm-hmm. But
no, it's entirely possible. I mean, like I said, he's the only character that really makes sense. You know, and especially considering his ability to break the fourth wall and oh, there it was. And, you know, to know he's in a film and in a comic book and whatnot. And hell, he could even say something about Stanley, you know. So it's like I said, he's the only character that really does make all the sense.
Dude, he could show up in Spider-Man Far From Home for sake of argument. Recycling the joke from Deadpool 1 with the Hugh Jackman thing stapled to his face, and he could put a Stan Lee picture stapled right to his mask, and "Hi, spider friends."
Yeah. Excelsior.
Excelsior, and disappear.
Yeah. Yep.
And we know it's him because of the ladybug pajamas and the katanas on his back and shit. But
dead giveaway.
But in reality, like the biggest question though is if Marvel went for it. And again, you could, just like with most things, you could throw any idiot into the ladybug pajamas to be Deadpool.
Right.
But would Ryan Reynolds want to do it?
Oh, you know he would. Would you? Okay, put yourself in Ryan Reynolds' shoes for just a moment. You are Deadpool. You are the Deadpool, right? And you were genetically modified and have labs somewhere to be perfect for the role of Deadpool. And Marvel comes to you and says, we have a bunch of fan petitions that want you to not replace Stan Lee, but kind of pick up his legacy and start doing cameos in all these movies. Now that we own Fox, we have the rights to do this. And, he's the only character that would really make sense to do it. I don't even think they'd get the offer out of their mouth, and Ryan Reynolds would already be humping their leg, begging them to let him do that.
You know what? It's funny. We're talking about like how Ryan Reynolds was like born to play Deadpool, and he would probably jump at this chance. I was at Comic Collections today, and I was going through his trade comics, trade paperbacks, and I found a prelude to the Green Lantern movie trade paperback, forward written by Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, really? I didn't know that existed.
Oh yeah, you know how badly I wanted to I wanted to read the forward. I didn't. I wanted to though, because you know how bad I would love to sit down with Ryan Reynolds after reading the forward. It's like, so tell me about this. Okay.
Jesus Christ! Did you watch the video with him and Hugh Jackman doing their truce?
Yeah.
Dude, God damn it!
Wow, that was really thought out. That was really. What about you? What's your apology?
No. Let's just cut it right here. I got to do some lighting issues. No, I want to see it. I'm going to see it anyway. Just go ahead and roll it. And I just like how he said it too. And he's like, Ryan Reynolds is a complete and total beep beep. And he sits there for just a minute and just looks out at the gin. He's like, the gin's pretty great though. I'll have to try it someday. just sets it down.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh man. But you know what, guys? I think that's going to do it for this first episode of After Hours.
We did it.
Yeah, we did it. We skirted that line a little bit, but we got there.
We skirted it. We bent it a little bit. Damn near broke it off, but we could bend it back.
Yeah, that's it. If we played with it anymore, we would have gone blind, and our palms would have been hairy. But we made it. We got all right. Brian, why don't you tell them a little bit about yourself and where they can find you besides here on After Hours?
You guys can find me on the Star Wars Canon podcast on YouTube. I think tomorrow night we're going to be going live. I missed the last couple weeks episodes. I was busy, and then last week I was surprised by a visit with my buddy, so I didn't get a chance to go live. But I think we're going live tomorrow night about 8:30 Central Time. We're going to be talking some Star Wars Canon. Make sure to tune in on that YouTube channel. Help contribute to the conversation. We'll talk about whatever the hell you all want to fucking talk about, as long as it has to do with Star Wars. And be civil, that's all I'm going to say. You guys can also like the Facebook page for the Star Wars Canon podcast so that you'll know when I'm doing giveaways, when I'm not going to make an episode. You guys will know in advance, so make sure to go check those out.
Damn you, Aggro Dad. Damn you. You know I always read the stream chat for people so they know what's being said, and you had to put that there. He's going to ruin it. He's going to ruin it. Oh, no. He ruined it.
Oh, no.
Oh my
no.
God!
This is why we can't have nice things.
Oh Jesus! He threw 3 things out there, and the third one he had to bring in Star Wars with it too. Oh man! Come on!
Hey! Screenshot them, and we'll talk about them on the next episode.
I can't. No, I can't. He's doing it to test me. Either
stay strong. Stay strong. Don't give in to hate. Don't be seduced.
Too late.
No, it's not. I
have to.
No, you don't. Don't do it.
Base.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
You can find me here on Realm of the Mist Entertainment with Realm of the Mist podcast. Of course, it had to be said with Venus. War of the Stars, a Star Wars podcast. You can also find us now on iTunes. Just look up Realm of the Mist Entertainment. And of course, you can find me anywhere on social media. Just look for Christopher Michael Stolle. And I will not give in to the power of the dark side. You can call me a son of a bitch all you want. We are gonna.
He's trying to break you.
I am gonna end it right here, guys. Thank you for joining us.
I'm waiting for him to say I can take what I can take what I want.
Yeah. I
God,
see
cinnamon.
it. God, cinnamon. I'm ending it here, guys. Thank you very much. Have a good night.
Take it easy, guys.
Damn it.